Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to continue the 31 Days of Halloween by reviewing the latest horror movie from Netflix, Vampires vs. the Bronx. Yes. Now, Vampires vs. the Bronx is a 2020 horror comedy movie. It was directed by Osmini Rodriguez, written by him and his writing partner, Blaze Hemingway. Now, the film stars Jaden Michael, Gerald W. Jones III, Gregory Diaz IV, Sarah Gordon, and Method Man Clifford Smith Jr. Yes, Method Man is in this one. Now the plot's another simple one. A group of young friends from the Bronx neighborhood fight to save their neighborhood from germification and the vampires. Ooh. Now remember watching horror films like The Lost Boys and The Monster Squad? You know, preteen boys defending their neighborhood from vampires, monsters, and other creatures of the night. Now what make those films work is that mixing horror elements with cute, funny preteen boys like the two Coreys from The Lost Boys and some decent comedy, and these films created a fun and creepy time for horror fans enjoy watching. A lot of people people still love watching the Lost Boys. People still love watching the Monster Squad. Hey, one YouTube guy actually names himself Wolfman's Got Nards from the Monster Squad. So, director Osmani Rodriguez, along with his writing partner Blaze Hemingway, tried to recreate those two films with this latest entry, Vampires vs. the Bronx. Did they succeed? Oh, well, in this entry, we're introduced to Martin Little Mayor Martinez, along with his best friends Bobby Carter and Louis Acosta. Martin, while putting up posters for the block party to save the local bodega in their neighborhood, witnesses a gangbanger being killed by a vampire. What's this? Vampires in the Bronx? Say it ain't so. Come on, didn't we see vampires in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy? Now, it seems that a real estate company known as Monroe Enterprises is buying up all the property in the boys' neighborhood. Now, we later learn that the company is a front for bringing in vampires so that way they can take over the neighborhood. They feel as though that no one's not going to miss any of the missing people that we see in the beginning of the film. We see a lot of missing posters in the film. That when Little Mayor is out putting up those posters for the block party, we find out that's the reason why they're missing. They're being attacked by the vampires. They feel as though ain't no one's not going to miss these people, so we're just going to take over the whole neighborhood. Now, since Martin and his friends are huge fans of Blade, yes, the Wesley Snipes Blade, they decide to defend their neighborhood and fight against the creatures of the night. Yes! When looking at this movie, you can tell that Rodriguez was influenced by The Lost Boys and Attack of the Block, especially with the latter, as it takes place in an urban setting with a very diverse cast, similar to what Attack of the Block was. Now, Rodriguez does a pretty good job in pacing the movie as he wastes no time with having the vampires attack after the audience is introduced to the main characters. We see Little Mayor, we see Bobby, we see Louise, we see all these characters, we see all the other characters throughout the film. We see that he's like this girl, we see some other girls, we see their best friend Tony who owns the bodega, but they hang out in and they watch Blade. So we get introduced to all those characters. And I like how the fact that he wastes no time and introduce these characters. He shows that these three little kids are good friends. They grew up together. They grew up in the same neighborhood. And bam, we see the vampires attack. No, I didn't have a problem with Martin, Bobby, and Louise, and I thought all three child actors, Jaden Michael, Gerald Jones III, and Gregory Diaz IV, were very good in their roles. Uh, I like the camaraderie that these kids have. We can see that they're very good friends. We can see that they care about Bobby. We see some of the trouble that each of the kids are going through, especially with Bobby, whose father died, probably being a gangbanger, and his ability trying to resist the urge as he's being tempted to do the same thing or follow in his father's footsteps by the local gangbangers in his neighborhood. They just simply lacked the charm that the kids had in the Monster Squad, the Lost Boys, or an Attack of the Block. There was something missing there between these kids, and I don't know if it was the script or the actors or the story itself. Not that I had a problem with, but I think all the kids did a fine job, but they simply did not have the charm that those films had. Now, it was interesting. I like the way how Rodriguez and Hemingway used the vampires as another form of gentrification, something that still affects urban cities like the one they do in this movie. I also like the play how they name the real estate company Mararu, which is a play on W.F. Mararu. Hope I'm not missing his missing his name. The German director who directed the so-called first vampire movie Nosferatu. So I like that they are actually fans, probably not only of Blade, but fans of vampire movies in general. Speaking of the vampires themselves, while they might look scary in some of the scenes, we really don't pose the type of threat that you need for a movie like this. Not saying that they had to be effectively scary, but you want them to make a threat. At least the vampires in the Lost Boys and the creatures in the Monster Squad pose a threat that would at least put the kids in those movies in some danger. We don't get that type of danger here. Yeah, they're doing something. They do some little nice vampire stuff, but I don't think they did enough to put them in danger. And I believe the actress that plays the main vampire, I think she really did a good job, but you can tell she was overdoing it a lot. So she really did enjoy her role, but I thought she did an over top performance in the film. Now, it's quite obvious that Rodriguez is targeting preteens in his movie because there's no blood in here at all. All the vampire bites are done off screen, and and when they're destroyed, they disintegrate, a la Blade or Buffy style. You know, when you stab them in, in the heart with a spike, they disintegrate. There's no blood. There's no real, not like the vampires in True Blood or any other vampire pictures where you see a whole bunch of blood. They just disintegrate. So, while not as good as The Lost Boys, The Monster Squad, or Attack the Block, it does hold its own with some nice characters, some decent acting from the child actors, and a very good, feel-good story about staying, protecting, and getting together and standing up for your neighborhood, and your fellow friends. I believe that's basically what the message that Rodriguez and his writing partner were trying to convey here. So, if you want to have your children watch a very decent and safe vampire picture for the Halloween, I said you should watch Vampires in the Bronx. So, I'm going to give Vampires versus the Bronx only 2 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Only gave it 2 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't have the charm that the Lost Boys, Attack the Block, or the Monster Squad have, but it's a safe film for kids to watch this Halloween. So there you have it. That is my review for Vampires versus the Bronx. Have you seen this film? It's playing right now on Netflix, probably for just in time for the Halloween season. If you have seen Attack the Block, what do you think about it? Do you think this is a safe vampire film for kids to watch? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about Vampires versus the Bronx. And that's my video for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a like and share. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.